Hey Capricorn, welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is our daily reading for June 22nd, 2025. Let's see what's going on with Capricorn. The heart of your reading, we have a misalignment or lack of alignment with the Chariot in reverse. Maybe you're rethinking a move. Something feels off. Something doesn't feel right. Maybe you're trying to get things moving and something is standing in your way and you're not sure why you can't sort of get the train on the tracks. What's the challenge here? What is hindering Capricorn? What needs to be overcome? No, I'm not reading 8 cards. What needs to be overcome for Capricorn? Fears, doubts, and insecurities. The 9 of Swords. Something is stressing you out, and that's what's holding you back from moving forward. Your own fears, your own worries. What are we focused on? Maintaining your confidence, appeal, allure in an unfamiliar environment. You're not sure if you'll be well received. You're not sure who's going to be there. You're trying not to be influenced by your fears so much that you alter your approach in how you present yourself to the world. But you're finding it difficult to plan and strategize of how to be successful as you navigate this unknown territory, because there are so many variables that you don't have. Show me the recent past. What led up to this for Capricorn? The Page of Cups. Okay. If this is someone else in your story, you could be, this could be one of your kids as sort of the cause or reason for whatever you're stressing about, and it's sort of limiting your ability to move forward. Could be a need to move forward on something about your child. If you don't have kids or that's not relevant to your story, then this is part of you, your own more innocent, the emotional side of you that believes the good in people, that allows yourself to connect with the unknown in a way that is unspoiled by past hurt. The beautiful side of naivete. The unguardedness that comes along with that allows you to sort of be this fresh, I'm gonna take risks, I'm gonna move into the unknown, sight unseen, with nothing but the shirt on my back. The Fool energy is showing up here from your higher self to describe, from your higher self perspective, what's the best possible outcome here, or What's the best thing that's going to come from this phase in your life? And it is you putting yourself out there, launching yourself in a new direction, taking a leap of faith. That sort of implies this embodiment of Page of Cups energy in a way. At the very least, it's bravery and courage in order to face the unknown. In the near future, we have the Sun in reverse. You start to turn a corner. You're coming out to the end of this path, this unknown path, and it's like that twilight energy before the sun rises, when you're like, okay, I see that glimmer of hope where I'm going to start to know what to do. Things are going to, let me articulate this better. The metaphor of the moon is that you're walking in the dark, symbolizing an unknown path, or you might have to stumble through this because you don't know where the ground is steady or where the path is. There's fear inherent in that experience because of the unknown, and it brings a lot out of you. Like, are you going to react in an unruly way? Is it going to bring out the untamed side of you? Or are you going to maintain self-discipline and take the slow and steady approach through the unknown? When you have that leading into the sun in reverse, I get this metaphor of being on that dark path, and then you see the glimmer of the sunrise, and you can't quite see the path ahead of you yet, but you know you will soon. And there's this reassurance that comes along with that, this heartening sensation of, okay, this has been tough, but it's about to get easier. If I'm remembering correctly, my mind is being drawn to this vague memory that I have of like a factoid about twilight, when it's those moments in between day and night when it's most difficult to see because of the changing light. And I don't know where I got that or what that's based on, but it's some sort of vague memory that I have of something that I've learned in the past. So I don't know whether or not that's factual. It could have some relevance to like the metaphor of this reading for you. Things might get a little confusing before they get more clear. The surprising element that's going to affect the situation that you don't see coming involves some sort of a revelation with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Something that's previously been concealed is going to come into your awareness. You'll become more clear on certain facts or behaviors to which you've been it's been hidden from you. This has the energy of like all along someone was like walking alongside you, or like one street over, and they were kind of watching you on your journey. You didn't know that they were there, but they've been alongside you the whole time. And now that the sun is rising, you're like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? Now that's like, I don't know exactly how that might be relevant to the story, but there's some sort of revelation inherent with the sun rising, or clarity, getting more clarity on your situation that enables you to align better with your circumstances so that you can move forward and take this leap of faith. Your hopes and fears, we have the Four of Swords. This is really recognizing that you need a break. You need to recharge, rest, rejuvenate, heal in some way. But maybe you're afraid to take the time to do so because there are too many unknowns right now. What if someone comes along and steals your suitcase as you're asleep, alone in the dark? What if someone comes along and harms you? You know, there's all these metaphorical insinuations here. You really, really want it. You recognize the necessity for it, but you're afraid of it. Let's see the most likely outcome. 7 of Wands in reverse. No longer being in a position where you constantly have to have your guard up and defend yourself. I think you're moving into new territory. So like once you're moving forward, whatever it was that you were guarding or maintaining a boundary around is no longer going to be relevant to you. So you're going to be freed up to like, okay, I'm no longer responsible for protecting that or guarding it. And you can turn your attention to whatever is coming up in your future. Okay, and to end our reading as the advice, we have the Ace of Swords. For those familiar, you already know what I'm going to say. I always go through the spiel because, you know, I always have new people watching. Even if it's just one person who hasn't seen me before, I want to make sure you know what I'm doing here. Early on in my reading, Spirit made it very clear to me that they want to put this little Easter egg in my readings. So when the Ace of Swords comes out in either the very first position of my spread or the very last position of my spread, it can be used not only as an interpretive piece in this reading, but also as a standalone answer to a yes or no question that you, the viewer, might have. So if you came into this reading hoping for an answer from Spirit that can be answered with a yes or a no, then you can choose to take this as that answer. If the sword is in the upright, it's a yes. If the sword is in the reverse, it's a no. Now, if you didn't come into the reading with something like that in mind, but you'd like to pause the video and come up with something now, you're also welcome to do that. We have the Ace in the upright, so that indicates a yes to your question. In general, in the context of this reading, the interpretation of this would be, watch out for okay, it's saying take the yes if you get an answer to a question, not the one that we just talked about, that's a little Easter egg, but as you're going through life and someone gives you an answer or an affirmative, don't question it. Don't ask them to rethink or ask them if they're really sure, or circle back with them to make sure that it's still the case. Take the yes. It's a very clear, firm opportunity for clarity that you can build on if you accept it. So it could be just encouragement in that regard. If you are in the position to answer someone else's question and they've been waiting to hear from you, you're not sure if you should say yes or no. If it feels right, then the advice would be, in that instance, to say yes to whatever it is. That's going to generate the best outcome for you. If none of that makes sense to you, then I think the other interpretation would be to remain open to inspiration and receiving clarity that is on its way to you. Understanding and truth, if you find it missing, all you have to do is clear your mind and meditate and ask for it, and Spirit will provide you with the answer that you need. So Scorpio, I'm going to leave it. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helped. Have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye.